Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got the 100% free REGEAR stuff coming up over the next few days. We need to make sure that we are well prepared. We need to make sure we don't make stupid mistakes. And also the team at HH Gaming, we've decided that we're going to turn on all of the premium stuff on the optimizer for free over this period so that you can get the absolute best use of the optimizer if you're going to do that. And I know some people are going to say, I play on mobile, I can't use the optimizer. It's true, you can't. You know someone who's got a laptop you could borrow for a couple of days? Because it's probably like well worthwhile. Like just for a couple of days, logging in, using it, and getting yourself some of the best builds, I just feel like it's worth it. But if you don't, unfortunately, we can't help you there. But anyway, let's get into a couple of the points of the video. I've made sure that I've filled up my gear. Yeah, 1300. I've done a load of forging to get myself back to max. Because I want to test something. I'm seeing a lot of people say, throw people into your reserve vault. It will strip them of gear. Yeah, which is true. It does. And it's quite a cool shout out. However, I'm worried. I'm worried that if you do that, do you lose the pieces that overflow your gear? Yeah, and it's a big watch out. So I think a lot of people are going to do this. So I'm currently on a maximum 1300 out of 1300. If I move someone into that reserve vault, like this lass, and press remove, so it's going to remove that gear, where's that gear going to go? Because I've only got 1300 space. So if I hit that, okay, your storage is full. So it's not going to work. It's not going to work. The main thing I wanted to test there was, is it going to destroy your gear without you knowing it? It won't. It just won't work. So just removing all the gear in that way, I don't think it's the best shout. I don't think it's the best thing to do. What I would do, and what I'm actually going to do, I would just write a list of the champions that are most important to you that you're going to use to re-gear. And I would just use the optimizer one by one doing the re-gear. Yeah. I'm going to show you. I did a video like this quite recently in some depth. So I will link that at the end. But I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do on the optimizer, which is just really, really helpful for this type of thing. Okay. As I say, I did a video in depth just a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. So it's not like it's new news here. But the things I would prioritize are things like clan boss builds. I would prioritize my arena team. I would then prioritize like my dungeon teams. And it depends what stage of the game you're at. Yeah, so if you're an end game plat player, then obviously you're going to prioritize your arena teams because all of your dungeon stuff just works. But for the majority of us, not me included, the majority of us though, you probably want to get the maximum benefit out of your clan boss team you can. That's like your first port of call. You then want to make sure that you're winning your arena battles to be growing your Great Hall. And then some of those champions will come into your dungeon teams and some will not. But you then want to make sure that your dungeon teams are firing as well as they can be. That's kind of the order that I would do it. So if you're talking about clan boss, you want to understand what type of team you're building. Are you doing an unkillable team, in which case you're going full damage? Or are you going for a kind of old school team which can die, in which case you need a good balance of survivability and ways to do damage? So if we're just going for a max damage build, we can literally pull out any champion we want. Let's take my Turvold here, who does do damage for me. He's in Savage Gear. So what I would be doing, actually, let me just go back screen. I would be going into my locked bank. Just move me out of the way a touch here, so it might be a bit in the way. I'd be going into my locked. Yeah, and I would just... I think you can do it one of two ways, but I would just go into my locked champions, and I think I would unlock everybody. I think this is the way I'm going to do it. Take them all down to 0. Yeah, if you're not got the multiple padlocks, by the way, you can go into this little hamburger on the right here and do account settings and just do enable advanced locking. It's actually a really cool thing to do. But I'm going to unlock all of my champions, and I'm just going to one by one build my most important champions. And then once I've built them, I will relock them. Yeah, and the way I do this for locking, and you might want to choose something similar, my high priority champions, where I never want any gear stolen, they go on as a padlock 5 for me. Yeah, you might find that your system might be like, padlock 5 is my clan boss team. Yeah, padlock 4 is my arena team. Padlock 3 is my dungeon teams. Padlock 2 is just people I've built. perhaps in a faction war team, I don't mind if I steal their gear in the future. But for me, I do high priority padlock 5, second priority padlock 4, and generally my padlock 3s, I don't have a lot of them, will just be people that I don't mind taking gear from in the future. Yeah, but you can do whatever system you want. You just need to know what your system is. But I'm going to unlock them all. I can just do it up here. Look, unlock all champions. And when it comes to the big regear, I'm just going to go one by one in terms of champion priorities for me. So in the video I dropped the other day, I did go into some of the details around best ways to optimize champions. But as long as you've got a GPU on your PC or Mac or what have you, this is the best optimizer to use. GPU optimizer is the best one to use. It will get you the best results. And then selecting, not quick mode. Quick mode's the default for people that don't really understand the optimizer very well. You'll get like a quick and dirty build. But you want to be using the mode based on the type of champion you're trying to build. So for this Cupidus here, I would be building him as a damage build. Yeah. Balance mode is generally if you're looking to find 1 or 2 stats like high speed or high accuracy, or both of those together. Survival mode if you're looking for like a base, like a massive tank. Yeah. With each of these though, when you're going into the stats, like don't overload the optimizer with numbers. Doesn't need it. Literally tell it, like on a damage build, what I tend to do, it knows that 100% crit rate is what you're looking for. If there's anything other than 100%, you can override it. The only reason that would be is if you know you've always got a crit rate buff on or something like that. But for a damage build, I literally just say, what speed do I want? Yeah, so for a Cupidus, I might say, you know what, I'm going to up into 170. Or you might play. You might be like, I'll try it on 170, what damage do I get? I'll try it on 160, what damage do I get? And I kind of play between the two. And then the other thing is, do you actually need accuracy or not? So for my Cupidus, I do because I use him in Hydra. Yeah, so they're the only 2 numbers I'm going to put in. Other than that, I'm going to let the optimizer do its job. Yeah, if I start saying, oh, I want at least 33,000 health. Oh, yeah, but I want 28,000 attack. Minimum 3,000 defense. You're overloading it with a load of crap numbers it doesn't need. And it starts to prioritize gear that doesn't actually give you the outcome that you want. Okay, so don't overload it with silly numbers. Not silly numbers, just numbers that you think it needs, but it doesn't need them. The other thing, because you're going to have premium activated, you're going to be able to click on the skills tab here and see what your current build does for damage. Yeah, all of these numbers are your current damage numbers. And then if we hit start and start working our way through our gear, once we get a build coming through, if I highlight over the new build, it will tell me what new change of damage I'm going to get. It's actually a really useful tool if you're trying to, or if you want to know what sort of change it's going to make. Now, if you're thinking, is it worth doing the regear? Well, for me, I've got about a 6%, I reckon, something like that, 6 or 7% damage gain from moving my Cupidus into this gear. Yeah, and I guess as you're going one by one, you start to pick off your big hitters. You're also able to do things like speed builds. So if we went to someone that I wanted to build fast, let's say Arbiter is always an easy one. Yeah, you can go in, optimize. I would do balance mode for an Arbiter because I'm trying to pick up 1 or 2 stats. And then I won't put any numbers in at all. I would just be like, bam, give me speed. Yeah, give me as much as you can get because she's going to be my arena speed lead. And then you smack it, start, and it will find your fastest build possible. And the other thing to be aware of, the optimizer understands the new Ascension dungeon. Yeah, it understands that that's a thing. And I'm going to do a second video which shows you how to speed farm just stage 7. Yeah, anyone can do it. Speed farm, not 5-minute runs, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I can do the 5-minute runs on 23, 25. But I just want to get a whole bunch of the low-level essence. Yeah, because basically what I want to be doing is taking my good pieces of gear, mainly bottom row, not top row, bottom row, good pieces of gear, and just evaluating how good they could be if I did go and fully ascend them. Because that might make a difference to the rebuilds that I'm doing. Yeah, it's almost come a bit too early for people to have enough of this juice if they want to do it. I need to do a whole bunch of farming. But basically, you can do your Ascension bonus because, you know, this one, for example, massive example right here. Yeah, we've got a level 5 chest, which is currently 50% attack percent, right? When it gets fully ascended, it's going to be 63. slightly better than a 6-star that gets a crap roll. It's a good example. It's not a perfect example because the other substats are not good, but it's an example of what you might find. You also might find that, like I got, was it on my rotas here? My rotas, yeah. So on my rotas, I got the attack percent roll on a big boy attack percent chest. So it means that this one will roll up to 80% attack versus a normal 60%. So someone like my Cupidus might want to actually take this piece. So stuff like that is kind of worth knowing before this happens. Certainly if you're pushing towards endgame and you're looking to do a whole bunch of the gear ascension stuff. I'm not massively into gear ascension, honestly, because I'm not playing like at a plat level arena, but I know that some people would be. Like this pair of sexy Swift Parry gloves. Yeah, I know Swift Parry's kind of dead and gone, but damn, if we got crit damage here, then that would have been a good day, but we didn't. But yeah, that's the type of thing that I'm going to be doing and the type of way that I'm going to be playing it. So the other way that you can use the optimizer here, which I think is going to be massively beneficial for the majority of the player base, yeah, is we go into team optimizer and we're trying to find teams that can improve what we do already. And this is going to be one of the things that I'm going to be looking at is what areas of the game do I actually want to improve? My Dragon and my Finite team are both pretty damn sexy as they are. My Spider team is bob on. My Ice Golem team is pretty lame, honestly. So Ice Golem would be something that I could improve. But then, you know, is there something in Hydra that I could be doing to improve my Hydra stuff? Or should I be looking at some of the Doom Tower bosses, for example? That's the type of thing. But basically, you can go to any area of the game. Even the Sand Devil and the Acropolis is in here. And you can look at what other optimizers have built based on the champions that you own. Yes, it's specific to your champions, but if I wanted to go into Sand Devil and say, you know what, I do want to speed farm stage 7, suggest me a team, what it would do is it will kick out as default the fastest for dungeons. It will kick out as default the highest damage for something like Clan Boss. And it'd be like, right, what the hell is going on here that they're speed farming in 4 or 5 seconds, 6 seconds or whatever, yeah? Little Miss Annie, I didn't expect to see her. I did not expect to see her. I just picked her up the other day, and it might be that I try and copy this exact team for my video. Obviously, what's happening is something along the lines of maximum damage, drop defense, nuke, and reset before the Sand Devil has any sort of idea of what's going on, and they're speed farming stage 7 in a few seconds. When you get the premium unlocked, which we're going to try and turn on today, you can go into... So this is what you'd see as a normal member. Yeah, and we're not... It is a free tool. But if you're premium, you just get a bit extra. It's the extra like sugar on top. Basically, you can go into view full teams, and I could be like, so what is going on? What are they doing here in terms of masteries? What are they doing in terms of sets? How are they making this work? And then I can also see at the bottom here, what are they doing in terms of setup? Yeah, so where are they using the AI setup? For example, you can see anywhere where it's got like first. That's a default setting in the AI tool on in-game. Yeah, so we can see everything that's going on. We can see win rates, victories. And this is the type of stuff where, honestly, you get massive gains on your account if you don't really have a good understanding of how to build teams. Yeah, or you're looking for inspiration with the champions you've got. You can also, let me just go back a second. You can also say to the optimizer, only show champions which are 6-star ascended, for example. So don't give me a load of my like level 40s or 50s. Yeah, I don't want to see those because they're not ready to go. You could also say, I definitely want for this team to include a seer, for example, or the opposite. You might be like, I can't change my seer's build, so don't show me anything with a seer. Yeah, that's an example. But any champion you could put must include 1 or 2, must exclude 1 or 2, and then apply the filter. Bam, and it'll be like, right, okay. Well, I've lost a second, but I'm not gonna like waste my seer build as an example. Also, don't really want to waste my Ghostborn build. So let's see what happens there. Okay, we drop back to 8 seconds. It's horrendous. But you could start having a little look through and be thinking, what the hell's going on here? And be thinking like, you know, I don't want to change builds of certain types. So maybe I look at an alternative which is a little bit slower, but gives me more options. And then this one, the cool thing about this is you can see how many battles have been run. Yeah, so 380 battles with 100% success rate. I'm like that. Perfect. If I'm seeing 2 battles with 100%, I'm still a little bit on the fence. Is that actually a 100% team or not? But when we've got 380 battles, I'm like, ah, great. That's definitely going to be a 100% team if I copy it. So that's the type of thing that you should be using it for. As I say, we're going to be turning it on full premium, all that type of stuff over this period where the REGEARs are available. And feel free to come into my Discord if you're struggling with it, because we've got people that can help. Usually, I hate to say it, but usually it's user error. Like 99 times out of 99. It's always user error. Yeah, not always, but almost always. Yeah, even when I've got mistakes, I'm saying to Saf, like, Saf, something's broken. He's like, no, you're broken. You're broken. You don't understand it well enough. So if you come and ask the questions, we will try and help you as best that we can. There you go, guys. Anyway, good luck over this weekend. It's actually a massive event for the community, I think. And I know other games do it all the time. Get on board, Raid. But anyway, let's make use of it while it's there. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.